Hey guys, Andy here from Mediocre Hobbies coming at you with another installment in the Space Marine Chronicles series. In this series, we delve into the background, lore, and painting of a bunch of different Space Marine chapters. The idea behind it is to let you guys know about some of the more obscure Space Marine chapters out there. We do tackle, obviously, all the main ones as well, but we've also done things like, Howling Griffins, or the Raptors chapter, or the Minotaurs, or Space Sharks, or, there's a bunch of different ones out there, and I like sharing them with you guys because I think there's so many awesome Space Marine chapters out there that people don't even know about. So if I can help shed some light on them, then this series is a success in my mind. In today's video, we are going to revisit the Ultramarines. We have done Ultramarines videos before on this channel, but in this video, we are going to focus on one of their specialist organizations that they have inside of their chapter. And that is, of course, the Tyrannic War Veterans. So these is a Space Marine organization designed to fight off and destroy Tyranids. And they are quite adept at doing that, having specialized equipment and training solely for that purpose. So I'm going to delve into their lore a little bit in this video and obviously show you how to paint one up. Also, I want to say a huge thank you to all of you guys for continued support. We have just recently passed the 50,000 subscriber mark here on the channel, which is a huge milestone. And from everyone here at Mediocre Hobbies, thank you so much. If you want to continue helping and supporting us, there's just a number of very simple ways to do it. Make sure you're liking the videos, making sure you're dropping comments. These things help push the videos out to more people, which means more people see it, which just helps with growth. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed to the channel, please take 2 seconds out of your day and smash that subscribe button. It costs you nothing and it means the world to us. And if you want to help in a further way, there's things like affiliate links down below. So for instance, if you buy things from Element Games, save yourself a nice 15%. But if you use the affiliate code down below, for me, it costs you not a penny more, but we get a nice little kickback from it, and every little bit helps. And then of course, the main way to support the channel is of course Patreon. That is linked down in the description below. There's a bunch of different benefits and tiers that you can check out and get the perfect one just for you. Thank you guys so much for this. Without further ado, let's get stuck in and paint this Tyrannic War Veteran. Okay, so time to get stuck into what exactly a Tyrannic War Veteran is and how they work. So, a Tyrannic War Veteran is a veteran Marine who is a member of the Ultramarine chapter's specialized strike force dedicated to the eradication of the Tyranid menace in the galaxy. The Tyrannic War Veterans were forged from the remnants of an atrocity committed by High Fleet Behemoth against the Ultramarines on their homeworld of Macragge, in a series of campaigns collectively known to history as the Battle for Macragge. During the Battle for Macragge, a good portion of the chapter was heroically sacrificed to stop the menace of the Great Devourer during its first known incursion into the Milky Way galaxy. Numbering only in their dozens, these veterans were experts in the art of Tyranid warfare and have saved many worlds from being completely devoured by hive fleets. Whenever Tyranid biohorrors begin to ravage a planet, these Ultramarines can be relied upon to strike a blow back against the swarm. Often in the face of impossible odds, they launch disciplined strikes against the monster's horrors and shred incessant bioforms with a blaze of bolter fire. The presence of the Tyrannic War Veterans is enough to rouse other Imperial forces to achieve great deeds in their darkest hour. Though each squad of Tyrannic War Veterans is led by a sergeant, the entire strike force is commonly directed by Chaplain Cassius, the Ultramarines' Master of Sanctity, a noted Death Watch veteran, and the oldest living member of the chapter. Scarred by countless conflicts, Cassius leads his veterans from the front. Cassius was chosen to lead the veterans not only because the idea of the strike force was his in the first place, but also because he is still afire with the righteous fury at the violence the Tyranids committed against the chapter during the First Tyrannic War. To attempt to rid the galaxy of the Xeno Scourge is a sacred duty for the Ultramarines. To see the Tyranids continue to rampage throughout the galaxy is a reminder of the Ultramarines' ultimate failure to have truly defeated them during the First Tyrannic War. But for Chaplain Cassius and his strike force, taking the fight to the Tyranids wherever they appear has become a way of life. Now, as I've stated in many of these videos, I can't give you all the information. I do recommend you kind of plow through and try and find some extra bits yourself and read up on them because it's awesome and it's definitely worth your time. But one of the ones that I'm going to focus on primarily is the formation of the Tyrannic War Veterans, because I think it's a particularly interesting point. Upon returning to Macragge, the value of the Tyrannic War Veterans could not be doubted, and with the chapter master's sanction given for the first time in the chapter's history, the dictates of the Codex Astartes were rewritten and the elite cadre of Tyrannic War Veterans was incorporated into the military organization and order of battle for the Ultramarines chapter. Chaplain Cassius gathered his corps of Tyrannic War Veterans. Under Cassius' leadership, those battle brothers who had fought the hardest against the Tyranid swarms that had assaulted Macragge were elevated and afforded additional duties, until each was eventually judged worthy of joining the ranks of the slowly reconstituted First Company. These so-called Tyrannic War Veterans make up the first and most powerful squads of the chapter's reformed First Company and are second to no other warrior of the Imperium because of their experience, training, and upgraded power armor. Though a minor deviation in the Codex Dartes, Marnius Calgar tolerates his mentor's divergence from its sacred tenets, sensing that someday there shall be a final reckoning between the Ultramarines and the Tyranids, and that Cassius' Tyrannic War Veterans may be the key to final victory. Soon the expertise gained from fighting the Tyranids was included within the training of all Space Marines of the Ultramarines chapter. Those who excel in the field of warfare are now often seconded into units likely to see action against Tyranids in order to further hone their skills. And an extra really cool bit here that I really like is the Era Indomitus. Cassius veterans could be forgiven for wondering what fate would meet their order when Rabute Guilliman was resurrected and altered his Codex Astartes. Would he end their organization? Would he tolerate it? None dared believe he might embrace it, but that he did. After learning of the Tyranids' threat, Guilliman immediately saw the value of the Tyrannic War Veterans, praising his sons for their adaptability in the face of such a dangerous foe. With the Primarch's blessing, the Tyrannic War Veterans took to their task with renewed vigour, with ever more successor chapters embracing their own Tyrannic War Hunters as a result. That last point I love, because Tyranids are the primary focus and bad guys of this edition of Warhammer 40,000. It is so cool that you can have like this cadre of specialised hunters added into your army. And the whole idea is like, even if you have a homegrown chapter of Marines, you can just, tweak the color scheme, add in the white helmets, the white shoulder trim, and the chest piece to whatever armor color you have chosen for your guys, and then have a specific cadre of Tyrannic War Veterans for yourself, which I think is a really cool addition and something that I absolutely love. So hopefully that does play into the future of things. We are hoping that at some stage we will get some new plastic Tyrannic War Veterans, whether that be an upgrade sprue or something like that. Like in the new launch box that they did bring out for the launch of 10th edition, there was the Primaris Lieutenants in there that were absolutely Tyrannic War Veterans, with all the extra gubbins and trophies taken from Tyranids, like placed around his armor and shoulder pauldrons, all those kind of things. There is absolutely no doubt to, the older guys in the hobby that that's exactly what he was meant to be. So we can pray that at some stage in the near future we will get some kind of more Tyrannic War Veterans. That would be very cool. So as you can see, we have gotten the blue and the white ready to rock and roll on this Marine. And one of the other things that I have access to, which is really going to help make this, is this awesome transfer sheet. Now, these transfer sheets are not easily accessible. They are available to independent stores who wanted to run a campaign for the launch of 10th edition. You could put in a request, you could get a campaign box sent to your store, and inside as one of the gifts for people participating was these transfer sheets. Now, a good friend of mine does indeed own a independent stockist, the Underworld Gaming Store here in Dublin. You go check them out. And he had a couple of spares, so he did throw them my way, which means that I am able to make a couple of squads of Tyrannic War Veterans for myself. So I went through the standard process of choosing some gnarly ones, which is, of course, the standard Ultramarine symbol with a Tyranid head over the top of it with a sword through the top. So the idea of that these guys are specialized Tyranid hunters. After that was applied, I just did a little bit of weathering by adding a light lead belcher dry brush to the model. Just helps catch the edges and make everything stand out. And of course, the last thing after that was to add just a color for the eye lenses. And then we have this really nice, neat, tidy, like I could definitely add a little bit of scratches and a little bit more weathering and maybe some like colored blood, some Tyranid blood, whether that be green or purple or whatever you want it to be. Splattered up the armor. Like these guys have been in the thick of the fighting for quite a long time. I think that would be pretty cool. But warp lightning painted into the eye lenses works a treat for a quick and effective glowing lens. And with that, we have our finished Tyrannic War Veteran Space Marine. I have, of course, taken a couple of still images so you guys can see what he will look like on the table. But yeah, I'm really happy how he looks. I really like my Kaldor Sky Ultramarine armor color. I know it's not the traditional color for Ultramarine armor. To me, it just looks so clean, it looks so good. It stands out. Here's a couple of dark, moody pictures, and of course we go into some nice brighter ones in a moment. But yeah, they're just, it's a great scheme. It kind of reminds me of an Emperor's Spear a little bit. Cool pose. And like I said, with them being kind of recognized by Guilliman, I do hope we do see them a little bit more in some future books or some future lore, or let's praise in the future model releases. So this was the Tyrannic War Veteran, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it very much. Okay guys, and here we have it, our finished Tyrannic War Veteran. It's a really nice scheme. It's quite a little bit like more subtle without all the gold and ostentation that the Ultramarines are normally famed for. The kind of white emblem, white shoulder trim, and the white helmet really does set them apart from other Ultramarines. And obviously those awesome transfers are amazing. So I'm very happy to have them in my collection to delve into if I ever decide to want to do some more of those Tyrannic War Veterans. Hope you guys liked this video. As per usual, I do have a list here somewhere. It's actually here on this piece of paper. So yeah, I have a list here with like the primary selection of ones. So I do go through all the comments and I write down some of the cool Space Marine chapters that you guys nominate to be done in videos. So if there is a specific one out there that really excites you, that you think has been neglected on YouTube and that people will really enjoy, then please do put it in the suggestions thing in the description below, and then we'll add it to the list and kind of fight through it for you guys. So a bunch of these videos are already taken from suggestions. So all right guys, make sure you do what I said at the beginning of the video: like, comment, subscribe, check out all the affiliate links, and check out Patreon. Thank you guys so much for sticking out to the end. I'll see you in the next one.